I'm with Sunny Girl Sundries and Sunny Girl Business Solutions, and I am out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Today we're going to talk about the rising costs of olive oil. So one of the hot topics that is facing our industry right now is the rising cost of olive oil. It's a huge part of what we use in our formulations, from soaps to oils, body butters, pretty much everything we can think of. When we start talking about natural products and the ingredients we use, olive oil is always one of the first things that we add to the list. When the price of olive oil increases to the astronomical amounts that it has right now, it means it throws everything off, from how we're functioning in our business to the money that we're making, our cost of goods. And the question is, what do we do next? So we kind of come through about 3 different approaches on how to combat the rising cost of olive oil. The first one is just using a lesser grade of olive oil. It comes in, there's extra virgin olive oil, grade A, and then the pumice version, which each has its own characteristics and will change in not just the final quality, but sometimes in the performance of the product itself. So if we're making soap, there's a huge difference in how fast it traces between extra virgin olive oil and the pumice grades. The next step is to think about, instead of just changing our formula from one version of olive oil to the next, we might think about reformulating completely and finding other substitutes. The most common ones are the rice bran oil and hyaluronic sunflower oil to swap out for the olive oil in our formulas. Specifically when it comes to cold processed soap, you're going to find very comparable qualities and characteristics between those 3 items. The downside is that you have to think about, how does that affect the overall quality of your final product? So whether you're changing from a different grade of olive oil or changing ingredients completely, you have to think about, is this just a temporary solution for you? Or are you truly invested in changing the formula that you've worked so hard on and finding out what you want to go next with it and keeping that as a permanent solution? So you might save in the cost of olive oil, but you might be adding to your workload with new research and development to reformulate your product. The final way, and this is something that we don't talk about a lot, is to just write it out. Nobody wants to spend more than what they absolutely have to on their ingredients. But in this situation, if you're really happy with the product that you have, based on the formula that you have, maybe it's just better to write it out and deal with a high cost. What you can do, though, is take a look at what else you're spending your money on, your inventory dollars. And maybe it's not buying the latest and greatest in fragrance oils or new mica colorants that comes out, and actually spending that money instead on the olive oil. You know what your product is capable of, you know what the quality is, and it's a way to at least temporarily keep that same quality without having to reformulate everything else along the way. So when it comes down to it, there's a couple different options of what you can do, and it's just a matter of whether you're looking at it from a temporary solution or a permanent solution. And you might use none of these options. You might use all of them, or you might just use 1 and 2, but at least it's something that's out there for you to think about. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have, please make sure to check out the rest of our videos and information in the HSCG resource library.